Hi everyone, I'm with Lib Hutchby, who is a member of the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom in the Triangle Branch, Raging Grannies, Frack Free UNC, and the North Carolina Environmental Network, and as well as she's been involved with Brettle for many years. So just starting out for people who don't know, can you talk a little bit about the Chapel Hill community and what it looks like for someone who may not know much about it?
And considering that I'm born and reared in North Carolina, but have only lived in Chapel Hill for 5 or 6 years, my uh, understanding of Chapel Hill changes. And of course, because of the university, it's a very academic community in many ways. Um, and the needs are the same regardless. So we all need fresh water and clean air, and uh, we all have the same needs regardless. We also have people who live in poverty. We have people who live near landfill. Rogers Road, for example, has had multiple problems over 50 years. And then some of you probably have heard about the coal ash under the police station that's been a problem for many years as well. So I would say that Chapel Hill has made an effort, is making an effort to address climate change in some ways, and yet been too slow in others. So we're just a community that is going up with the housing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're building out. So it's not always a pretty picture from my perspective to let go of good farmland or have a beautiful park destroyed by uh, humans. So anyway,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love that description. And you talked about some of the environmental issues you all are facing. I guess, are there any others? And what kind of actions are some of these networks or groups that you're a part of doing to, fight against it?
okay, well, there was a group called Choke that began several years ago and is no longer meeting, but our focus was on the plant. Uh, Actually, this plant is a is meant to be an energy plant for the campus and the hospital. Um, and our focus was try to prevent the air pollution and bring attention and education to the people in Chapel Hill that this uh, cogeneration plant, they call it, was actually poisoning the air. It still is. And you may know that just in the last week or so, the UNC has withdrawn its application to DEQ for burning pellets and as an alternative. So
Mhm.
this is a good thing. We've
Okay,
all
yeah.
come together. Uh, I would credit the students on campus for organizing. They showed up at the hearing in Chapel Hill when there was a hearing about the pellets and the possibility of burning those in the Chapel Hill cogeneration plant, which was supposed to have shut down Obviously, it has not, and has not transitioned to renewable energy. So it is it's an effort on the part of the community as well as students at UNC to work together to bring attention to the needs for clean air. Now,
Yeah.
also is that there have been some air monitors placed near the cogeneration plant in the last month. I can't tell you exactly where they are, but I know there are some in the community. Um, so that will be very helpful, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna ask you kind of what traction has been made because I was helping work on that campaign in 2019
Uh,
to try to transition the university away from coal. And you said that students are actually like very involved. So that's good to hear that yeah, the students are participating more and organizing themselves. And what all have the students done to um, kind of tell the administration to transition?
well, also appreciate Greg Meyer, our representative, for
Mm-hmm.
coming to the meeting, coming to the public hearing and speaking out. So it's been important to have as many people aware of the issues and not let UNC get by with uh, refusing to transition in a timely fashion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's great. And so yeah, could you talk about that the application to burn pellets? Like what kind of pellets was that? And um what do
Well,
you
what
think caused them to withdraw that?
thank you for asking, Jim. What I know about it is not. I am not a scientist, so I'm passing along to all of you the information. Excuse me, that was passed to me. That when I think of pellets, I immediately think of wood pellets and in vivo or some such as that. Well, these pellets had more plastic as and that is part of the problem because of the chemical makeup of the pellets, and that is what was poisoning the air, or had the potential to poison the air. So I'm glad they have withdrawn their application, and we won't hopefully have to deal with that anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah, that's great progress. And you said that there were some air monitors around town. Who put those up and who's tracking that data?
Very good question, and I'm not sure I know the answer to who's tracking it all. Um, I know Brittle tried to put up some, and the I'm sorry, I don't remember. I started to say no, call UNC, but there have been so many different organizations involved in it.
Yeah.
The Center for Biodiversity uh,
hmm
may have as well, so I don't want to misstate who is actually doing this.
But like a community-based group that will
Community,
hopefully use that data to
right?
fight against it. Yeah, okay, that's great. And yeah, with that data, hopefully it can be more so proven that the plant worsens the air quality for you all. And yeah, it's kind of just pivoting. Could you talk about World Water Day that's coming up and how you're helping to organize it and what it is.
I'd love to talk about World Water Day. It is actually coming up very soon. So invite all of you to come out to uh, this event, which will be held at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Park in Carborough, and the address is 1120 Hillsborough Road in Carborough. And so this year's theme for World Water Day involves saving our glaciers. It's connected by water, celebrate glaciers and protect what we love. Um, it's going to be rain or shine, 1 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And there'll be children's activities, as we say, hands-on crafts and art built. Musical artists, David D'Angelo and May Day Glow, Mark Edwards, that is. So we are excited to say that we're going to learn more about glaciers and the connection between climate change and the melting of glaciers and even PFAS, because we will have speakers, and Jason Torian of Brittle is one of the speakers. Mayor Barbara Fischie, the mayor of Carborough, will speak, and Lisa Sorg, who's a North Carolina reporter for Inside Climate. So we're going to really have a substantive opportunity to learn from them and be able to connect how the melting of glaciers is important to our water supply, which is most of, I'm learning as well that 75% of our fresh water is in glaciers.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So there's so much for us to enjoy being together and at the same time learning. So this is an effort by the Triangle branch of Women's International League for Peace and Freedom and Raging Grannies. We have, and other friends of the earth, as we say, we try to bring this event together every year, and for the last many, showing the value of water. And if you Google World Water Day, you will get a chance to see the history of how the United Nations has designated March 22nd of every year as World Water Day. So I'm very happy to say that it's nature-based, and there will be dance ceremony at the end with Linda Rapatwana. We are privileged to be able to borrow some puppets from Paper Hand Puppets and have with those as well. So we have a full afternoon planned, and we're excited about it. So I'll send you another copy of the flyer if you want to post it.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds great. And yeah, such an interesting topic for it. And yeah, I would love to learn more about that too. And great panel too with Lisa Sorg. I know she's really informative and yeah, really great at just communicating science to people.
Well, it's so important right now, I think, to focus on what's going on with the fossil fuel build out in person and how that affects all of us in North Carolina, all of us down on the East Coast for that matter. But Jason has been pivotal in organizing in Person County as well as Appalachian Voices, Joy, um, Dewey, and I was started to name people, and I always get in trouble doing that. But then and there's the Mariah Energy Center. So I invite people to think of parallel lines in Person County, understanding that Mariah Energy Center is bill is actually already under construction thanks to the county commissioners.
Mm.
It is an LNG, which is liquid natural gas, and it's going to be a huge problem. It has the potential to actually not provide gas to natural. I call it methane gas. I don't like to call it natural gas because it isn't. Methane. What I think, if I'm inaccurate, please tell me. But my understanding is that it's going to have like 250 million gallon storage tank for LNG,
Mm-hmm.
and they're expecting to build two and not just one. So that's just the Mariah Energy Center. And then if you move your visual to the left a little bit, then you would have the Transcontinental Pipeline, which comes all the way down through North Carolina and down to Alabama. And that proposal is to expand that, to build this, to make the daggum pipeline a larger pipeline. And then transformers, of course, would be needed to make sure all that happens. So if you visualize that and then move a little bit more to the left, then you have Duke Energy in Hyco Lake, and Duke Energy has applied to build two more methane plants in addition to what they have. And they are, as we speak, constructing more coal ash ponds, because I rode up there myself to see what in the world was going on. So from that Duke Energy plant, there is a pipeline called T15. Oh my goodness. Like I said, there is too much going on in Person County. So don't forget. Have you already talked about the Mount Valley Pipeline on your podcast? I think you have.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit. Yeah.
And so now there's the application that Mount Valley Pipeline has made to build Southgate. So that's why I ask your listeners to imagine all these parallel lines and note that unfortunately so much of this build out is in Native American land and will be very offensive in every way. I probably should just hush about that for right now.
Yeah, yeah, I know there's so much going on in North Carolina, and yeah, maybe it's not directly in Chapel Hill, but it still, is connected and, within your state. So is there anything in Chapel Hill or the Hill organizations that you all are doing to help with, Person County's fights or anything like that?
Well, what we have done is we have gone to participate and make public comment at the commissioners. We've been up to Person County
Okay.
to offer public comment when public hearings were allowed.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. And yeah,
You got to
is
remember, all of this water is connected. You
mm-hmm,
can't, it's like Bucky's is in the middle of all that too. And Orange County was able to stop Bucky's in Orange County, but Alamance County decided to have it.
mm,
So, so, so Bucky's is going to build right on the Occoneechee trading path.
oh
It,
no.
it's crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, those are massive.
It doesn't make sense to me uh, that we don't really need a Bucky's in the first place, in my opinion. But that's part of how the build out will affect Orange County and Chapel Hill, because the headwaters for 7 Mile Creek, the headwaters of 7 Mile Creek, um, affects the Eno. Well, and it affects our water system. Anyway, it's like Paul River and PFAS. So rivers are our rivers and creeks. When our rivers and creeks are polluted, then it affects everyone. It's not just a Chapel Hill problem or a Person County, Roxborough, Person County problem. It becomes a problem for all of us when some of us don't seem to care about others, or much less the air and the water.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And is there anything that we missed before we end that you think is important to talk about or touch on?
I'm just, again, distressed about so much of the fossil fuel build out in North Carolina. And I actually also learned that Microsoft bought several thousand acres in Person County, and they might want to put a data center there. And that would also increase the need for water if the way to cool that is to use water. So once I learned the statistic years ago that over 2,000 gallons of water per minute are used just to cool Sharon Harris, which keeps my lights on. And that is a stunning statistic to remember when we think about how much water is extracted every day to cool data centers, to put our food on the table, and then to try to keep it clean when regulations in the legislature seem to be distracted from truth.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I heard about the data centers too, and
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to have the opportunity to talk about World Water Day and all of these things that are ways that we can protect what we love.
yeah, definitely. Thank you.